Hi, I'm Devin Morse, and I'm here with Mr. Smallbach, and we are in the library, and we're here to talk about the yearbook committee. Hi, Mr. Smallbach, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Okay, now I have a question. Who is the yearbook?
It's open to anybody in the school. We're always looking for perspectives of all students, different grade levels, different clubs, different sports, to make sure that we cover the entire year's experience at Norristown.
Okay, activity in the yearbook club.
Well, in the main graphs, because we can make a real nice book, but if we don't have the information or the pictures, it's not going to have a whole lot in it. No, if in this day and age, photography has become one of those things where most anyone can take a half decent picture with almost anything. Although we have photographers that have very good and specialized equipment and are really good at getting some really awesome pictures for us. But we also need things that are happening kind of in the moment. So, like when people are at events and they snap a picture, if it's of a decent enough quality and it's showing what's going on, we can usually use things like that too. Like anything, we probably take dozens of pictures just to get the one that we can use, but the more we have, the more things we can include, and then the more coverage we can get of lots of different students and staff throughout the building and throughout the year.
The year.
Nothing special other than if you want to join and take on a task and you've agreed to cover something, to make sure that it's being covered. One of the things that happens, because a lot of what goes into the yearbook are events, once they're done, and we can't necessarily recreate them. We can't make a dance happen again if we miss what happened at it. So part of it is making sure that whatever you agree to do, you do. Particularly information. Again, it's like if once this sports season is over, and if we can't hunt up the records, if we can't get to the coach because they don't, maybe they're not teaching in the building, it becomes really hard after the fact. So that's why we try and get a lot of different people to cover different aspects of what's going on. So we have that information so we can write up the best coverage we can.
Schedule coming up.
Well, we go throughout the year, but in order to get our yearbook back before seniors leave, because we distribute at our annual Spice Day event, which is the day before graduation, and that's when seniors get their yearbooks, and then underclassmen get theirs the following morning. In order to meet that date, the book has to be done by the middle of April. So throughout from basically the beginning of the year until the middle of April, we're doing coverage of various things. So it's an ongoing. It depends. We have to cover things when they happen, and then we need to gather all that stuff together. But it's an ongoing thing. Assignments at different times when sports happen, when they end, and so on. But everything we have to have in the book gets wrapped up by the middle of April. So we just barely get into spring sports, but it's better than our old schedule when we used to have to be done by the beginning of March, and we would have to use the previous year's spring sports pictures. So we've gotten with online production and our when we changed companies a few years ago, we got a more production time, so we're able to get all of the current year stuff covered in the current year. So that's been a big plus, but it's an ongoing thing.
Okay.
No particular skills, again, other than being able to do what it is you've signed up to do. So if you're going to do the typing, it's just typing. Seniors fill out information sheets, but that's 400 lists of things seniors done that need to get typed up. So that means when you agree to come and get it done. If you agree to cover a sporting team or a club or an event, make sure you get all the information. Make sure you get quotes from people that participated so we can mention names, so we can get perspectives on what participants felt when the event was going on or when they participated in the club or the sport or whatever. So it's not that there's any particular skill set other than having a good work ethic and to some extent being nosy, because you have to be able to get out in front of people and say, what did you feel about this? You participated in Interact Club. What did that mean to you? What things did you have to kind of have to be pokey like that, and not everyone is situated to that. Same with photography. Photographers have to be really in people's faces to get that coverage, and some people are able to do that better than others, and it's a line to be able to do it effectively but not be obnoxious. So that's the kind of skill we're looking for. But other than that, it's not like you have to be you don't have to be like some kind of brilliant intellectual or whatever. It also helps if you're involved in a club other than ours to, be a point person for your club, because you would have a great perspective on what it is to be in that club. Our yearbook has a long history. It started in 1896. And from 1896 until about 1929 or so, it was primarily a monthly literary magazine. People would write stories, humorous things. There wasn't a kind of a news thing, like this is what's happening in sports and clubs and things. And then when a school newspaper was first started in 1928, then that kind of took over the reporting aspect of it. So it became a yearbook in the way we think of yearbooks, because it always had a graduation issue. In the early 20s, they started putting in pictures, and it kind of evolved into what we think of as a yearbook, with senior pictures and club pictures and things like that. So, we have pretty much every issue except for from the first 2 years going all the way back to 1898. So, it's got a very long history, and what's great about it is so many of us have, relatives that went through, and we can pull those yearbooks out and look at them. It gives a really nice sense of the history, the continuity of the Norristown experience over the many decades we've been around. I call meetings periodically, but again, a lot of it is agree to do something, cover it, get the information back to us. So,
Okay. Involved in this club?
Just keep an ear out for meetings, and then when we have them, come down, sign up for something, and make sure you get the assignment done.
Anything else you would like to add?
No, just that we would like to see people involved, because we can't be everywhere, and we want to make sure that we're really covering the whole experience of what it means to be a student at Norristown High every year.
I'm Devin Morse here with Mr. Smallback. Now back to the Eagle's Eye.